Fears of an outbreak of the bird flu around the world may have an effect on airline travel. 2 years ago, the outbreak of SARS in Asia severely affected airline travel, and it took 8 months to recover. Could the same thing happen now with the avian flu? Joining me now is Steve Hendrickson, Senior Partner with Sabre Airline Solutions. Steve, good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning. I'm glad to be with you.
Well, most of the airlines aren't exactly financially healthy right now, and given their history with SARS, how worried are they about a possible avian flu outbreak?
Well, you're right. The airline industry is quite challenged right now, so they don't need another body blow such as something akin to what we saw with SARS. Everybody's waiting with bated breath to see how this plays out.
Well, let's talk just in general about some suggestions you might have for people, for example, who are business travelers who travel frequently, and I know quite a few people, for example, go to Asia at least once a month. What would you suggest to them?
Well, sure. The first thing to remember is that there are no formal travel advisories advising people not to travel to the region. But at the same time, there are some common sense precautions that are being advised. And so before you go, you should check on the latest updates on travel risks in the region that you may be traveling to. It's probably also a good idea to check in with your doctor to make sure you're up on your vaccinations and that you're aware of any potential medications that he might prescribe given that you're going to that destination. It's not a bad idea to bring a travel health kit with you so that you're able to have basic first aid and medication with you. You should also probably check with your health insurance company to make sure you understand what your health care options would be if you were to get ill while you were traveling. And then during your travel, you want to make sure that you're avoiding contact with the poultry industry and washing your hands frequently. The other thing is if you do notice symptoms, seek medical care right away. And if you're consuming poultry products while you're in a region that's known to be affected by the bird flu, make sure that it's well cooked. And if you're into having eggs easy over, be mindful that runny egg products are probably not a good idea, so maybe get them scrambled.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of common sense things, but this is a limited situation right now. What are the airlines doing, if anything, to prepare for the possibility that it could become a much more serious problem?
Well, I think the preparations are taking place in the background, and you know, it's hard to say that SARS was a good thing, but if there's any benefit we could take out of that experience just a couple of years ago, it's the fact that the industry responded quite nicely. Airlines, health officials, airport officials, travel distributors, and travel arrangers all got together to communicate and get the message out, to set up traveler screening programs that looked for symptoms, quarantine programs for those that exhibited symptoms, and really the industry responded very nicely to contain that outbreak.
Steve Hendrickson with Sabre Airline Solutions, thanks very much for joining us this morning. We appreciate your expertise.
My pleasure. Thank you.
At the top of the hour, the latest on the rain and dangerous flooding.